And welcome back to Journey to Union. In this video, I wanted to share something with you. I wanted to talk about something and something that you may feel on the journey. You may feel it once in a while, or is something that we all feel on the journey sometimes, is the disconnection from the actual connection, or from the twin, or from, like, why are you not feeling this person anymore that you used to feel all the time, right? That you used to be so connected to, that you used to have this energetic strong connection to, and suddenly this connection disappears, right? So you may be feeling this way, where you're feeling just like, where did this connection go? It is totally gone, right? So it has disappeared. And so for my own process, I have definitely felt this this feeling, and this feeling like it's a very confusing feeling, because it's almost just like you know that you're connected to this person, and then all of a sudden it is gone, right? Like, it's not there anymore. So I feel that it's important to understand that this process is really about the inner polarity merging, the inner polarity coming into union. And it's not about a person in the external world trying to fill that, or it's not about someone in the external world. So what it is that when you feel this way, when you feel that the energy that you used to feel for this person is completely gone, the reason for it is there is several reasons for it. Actually, for myself, I'm still trying to figure out why it is all of a sudden gone, and what is really going on. And so the mind tries to figure it out, right? Like the ego mind, or the logical mind tries to figure out like what's going on, because the logical mind is always trying to figure out what the journey is about, and trying to get the answers, and la-di-da-di-da. This is the process of how we get to understanding what's really going on with us, because we don't know what's going on. And then we're just like kind of feeling like, okay, we need to know what's going on, right? Like, we need to know everything about it. And really, it's an energetic connection, right? It's a spiritual connection. It's a everything is energetic. But when you're feeling something, that is the spiritual connection, that is the bond. And on this journey, if you are in a situation where you're feeling a lot for someone, again, it can be a trauma bond, it can be, it might not be an actual this herogamic union, or another incarnation of yourself, of your soul self. And so from my own experience, like from what I feel right now, is like that the other incarnation, the soul, like my soul is not there anymore. Like, I don't feel anything. Like, it's just like zero. It's actually more like it's like I don't feel any connection at all. And it's very scary, actually, because it's like, then you wonder, what was all of that about? Like, what was all of this, this connection that I was feeling? Like, what was it all about? And sometimes I start to think like, well, did I make this all up? And because it basically has disappeared, like, altogether. Like, I don't feel any connection, I don't feel any love, I don't feel anything for that person. Like, I don't even feel like I want to be with that person. Like, nothing. Like, it just feels like nothing. And it feels strange. Like, I don't know exactly. I think my ego is just still trying to figure out what's going on. Like, it's still trying to like figure out this whole process, because I know that if you're not feeling that person anymore, it can be that it wasn't even a twin soul or the herogamic process happening. It was more of like a trauma bond or a very strong trauma karmic situation bond. And it can happen. It happened to me where you're connecting with your twin, but you're actually you actually projecting that energy onto an actual external person, and it's not that external person. It happened with me where I was feeling all these feelings for someone and I thought they were actually my twin at the beginning of the journey, and then it turned out that it wasn't, because there was someone else that came in who was like, that actually was shown that this was my actual twin soul, twin flame, or whatever you want to call it. So there was very confusing, it's very confusing because you keep trying to figure out who it is in the external world. Like you're still connected to someone in the external world, and this journey like is about really detaching from all of this like external stuff, like from external people, from externalizing your power and, making it about something else outside of you, right? So it's always about bringing it back. And I think you hear this all the time on this journey, and I'm sick of hearing people saying this, but it's actually just like not attaching yourself to anyone. It's not even about your twin or this twin person. It's like not attaching yourself to anything or anyone. And I think this is what we're trying to learn on this journey so much. And it's like, it's just a whole bunch of initiations on this journey. And it's like nothing more but a spiritual initiation, this whole process into the ascension, into, climbing this enlightenment ladder, climbing into your heart space, and then like, basically activating like all your chakras, and then reaching like your crown and activating into your higher potential as a human. And that is what we're doing, and that's what we're capable of doing, and that's what we're doing on this journey. We are really just like activating higher chakras, aligning to our heart, and coming back into the 0 point energy, which is like what this union is all about. It's 0 point within yourself. It's not about, again, someone outside of yourself. It's easy to believe that for so long. Like you believe that it's someone out there, and you obviously have all these feelings. You have a strong connection. You have all of this energy, magnetism, and all that. Yeah, that all happens. And then one day it just all disappears. Basically, like that's basically where I am at. And so it can be that way. If you're not feeling this person anymore, it can be that it was a trauma bond, it was some karmic past life thing. Every person that comes into your life, if your chakras are really activated, you will start to feel energy and connection to everyone. You can do that with any person. You can tap into their energy field. You can get connected to them. But with this herogamic union process with your other self, with your other incarnation in a parallel timeline, basically, it's like it's completely different in terms of what you're feeling, because you're feeling just like you are them. Your energies are totally merged in. You're totally one. You may feel this for a long time, right? The pull energy, the magnetic pull to them. You may feel like all of this for a while, right? The synchronicities, the memories, all of these crazy experiences that you feel when you're like connecting with that person. But then all of a sudden it stops, right? Like all of a sudden it just like, where did it go? Like where did all this crazy feelings go? Like it just disappears, like almost like nothing ever happened, right? Like you just don't feel anything. You feel zero, like basically zero, like minus. Like it's like that's where I am at, and I am, and if you feel like this, like then yes, then this is basically you are really like detaching from all of it, from the external person. You're detached. You've taken a lot of your energy back. You've integrated a lot, because what happens is that you integrate the other person's, like you integrate the energy back, like you integrate the polarity, right? So when it comes to this point where you're not feeling them, if they are your real twin soul, herogamic, counterpart, then it means that you've done a lot of the integration and the polarity work within, that you're not, in that place where you're like needing them to fill that, right? Like you've come to that place where you're feeling at that peace inside. You don't need that very detachment, and you don't even need them. You don't want them. Like there's nothing. There's zero energy there, right? There's zero, and it's basically such freedom from this whole obsession, right? Like this obsession energy, this in your head energy. It's a freedom from that. So if you are at that point, and this happens along the journey where you get separated, okay, where you go into, and I mean separated, I mean the energy separation. It's not a physical separation. It can be, but it's all energy. So sometimes you feel a lot of connection, and then there's like zero, there's like void energy, and then there's a lot of connection again, right? You have these like on and off cycles. And that is normal in this process. And sometimes they can last for a very long time where you just don't feel them at all. Like it's done, basically. Like that's how I've been feeling for a long time. Like we've been very energetically connected, and then now it's like there's zero connection and it's basically gone. That's how I feel. And so it can be very confusing. But there is several reasons, like I said, in conclusion, why you may not be feeling them on the journey anymore. Energetic separation is when you really feel like, when there's an energetic separation between your two energies, first of all, that is good, because then you can concentrate on what you need to do. The coming together energies are always like when the other half of you, not that you need an other half, but when the other polarity comes in, it's to do some kind of energetic purge or some kind of triggering or something that needs to happen, so they come back in energetically. Okay, it doesn't mean physically that they're coming back in. At this point, the relationship that you may have with your twin, or I'm personally at that place where it's not even, nothing is physical at all. It's all like a etheric connection, and that's how it's been for my process since the actual physical separation, which was a long time ago now. So now it's just like there is no physical contact or nothing in the third dimensional reality, and it doesn't even have to be, because this is all part of the process of actually helping you ascend, and you come to a point where you don't need anyone to fill you. You don't need any people. You don't need any partner. It just like feels like you feel you've reached wholeness, and you don't need. There's not that need to fill inside, that need that we want, like that partnership. That's when you know that you've reached a lot of that union energy within you, that you don't need to be seeking anyone outside of yourself. You don't need that partnership. You don't need anyone really, okay? Including your twin. You don't need them or want them for that matter. So that's kind of the place that you reach, but there is that on and off energy which you may feel on the journey. So I hope this helps you, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll speak to you in the next video.